Testing, testing, 1, 2. Okay, let's see what we got. Six o'clock, we should see something pop, right? Okay. That is that. Let's jump over here to our main, or actually to our scanner. Okay, who is over here moving at this point in time? X-Pun up 15%. Okay. 6 o'clock. Let's just go look at some of the higher volume ones right now. So X-Pun is looking like it's leading the day. A little zigzagginess over here. I don't see any kind of catalyst on X-Pun. It's just receiving volume. So we'll see what happens with that. And let me make sure this is set right over here. Here we go. Okay. Good morning, Danielle. I'm watching X-Pun right now. It looks to be the one that's receiving the most in MODV. MODV might not be a low float. Let me go check this. It's a little bit cheaper too. Oh, it's got 6 million in the float. EEIQ, X-Pun, MODV, APM died during aftermarket. It imploded. Man, this thing took an hour just to move. Like, I think it was like, what, 50 cents at a time, taking an hour to move 50 cents. Man, I did not touch that. I just couldn't make myself touch that. EDUC is out of there. Thar went down yesterday aftermarket as well. SLGL, nope. All right, so everything is pretty much around $1 that is moving right now. Mersana Therapeutics. All right, Xplan looks to be up just cracked 20%. Keeps hitting its head though without that catalyst. MODV, do you have a catalyst? No, it does not. Nope. EEQ. Oh, LIMN. Let's look at that. LIMN. Okay, so they got last news from them was on July 28th, but they're moving up. Moving on up. What does their company do? It says Liminatus Pharma is a clinical stage biopharmaceutical company. The company is engaged in developing cancer therapies and treatments. The GCC vaccine of the company is in the phase 2 clinical trials designed for immune behavior towards colorectal, pancreatic, gastric, and esophageal cancers that express some kind of cyclase C. All right, let's see where they're from here. Questions swirl around Powell's final whatever. Let's go see LIMN. LIMN, where are you? Okay, so we just read this company develops. Okay, it was founded in California, Palma, California, anti-tumor biotechnology company. What is the float on this one? Float is, it doesn't show the float. Okay. Does not show the float on this one. That's probably why it's not showing up on here. I'm not even seeing it on this scan, pre-market scanner. Yep. So I don't know what the actual float is. Let me go and look at over here and see if they have some type of float out here. Statistics. Float is 4.51 according to Yahoo. Let's see, where else can we check the float? Yahoo, Finbiz. See if we get some confirmations around the board. LIMN. Float is 5.56 over here, so 4 to 5. Where else? I can't even remember. But that's interesting. Not showing up in old Benzinga for a float. So I don't know what the accuracy of those are, but it is up 53%. With 10 million shares traded. Let's go look at the daily chart for this one. That is wrong. This should be the daily. There we go. What in the world? Oh, okay, I see. That should be 5, and this is the daily. Click the wrong one. All right, so over here on the daily on LIMN, closed at 260 or 270. Go ahead and clean off, remove all of these drawings. So the last place that is super obvious is up here to the 937. on this chart. Maybe it looks different on some other chart, but for mine, I'm just going off of this. Could be a daily level there. It is a possible daily. But below that, kind of just a blind move there. It's up to 425, so it's a long way away from that level. Has some type of gap there, and not really seeing much more obvious stuff. Oh, it's only been open up on 525, so it's been open for 3 months. 3 months. Okay. So definitely not a lot to go on there. Hopefully, maybe some new. I don't even know. It hasn't even for 3 months of trading. It's definitely got some work to do. EEIQ popping up there for some reason. It's up 100. It says 106. I don't even know if that's correct. So LIMN and EEIQ. Says EEIQ. Does it have a catalyst on today? It looks like it does. Has a float of 4.19 million. Had a catalyst yesterday afternoon. It announced its earnings in the afternoon. Oops. So they announced a 29% increase in revenue for the first half of our 2025 fiscal year compared to a year ago. They improved their gross margins, gross profit. Okay, so tell me about EEIQ. What do they have going on over there? EEIQ financials. Evolve ETF. Okay. Great question. Staying updated on the financial statement or status of innovative ETFs like EEQ, EEIQ. So this is a ETF. I don't want to day trade an ETF for sure. Nah, I'm good on that. Oh, that's probably because maybe I set this to 0. Let me set this back to 1. See what happens. Nope, it's still there. So it does have shares. Okay. Family isn't even in, not even coming up on the scans right now for anything because it's missing information. Let me see if I were to just delete this. Okay, so now I can see it. So I got rid of the float. It's not showing a float. And let me see what else. So this is pre-market without a float. Way too big. AZTR, seeing that up there. Motive, whatever CYCU is. They just regained compliance with NASDAQ listing. You know what? This may be just some Friday morning stuff because it's not showing. Usually it'll show like at least relative volume or something. It's only showing the volume. So let me refresh. Because that is trippy. Oh, okay. Let's go over here and get rid of the float over here then. Because that's probably keeping it out of there as well. Yep. Okay. Still giving me some off numbers in these change percentages as well. Relative volume not showing. Okay. So let's just go from top down. Top volume mover is GNPX. I just notate these and we'll just look at them on the charts to see what's actually moving. DWAV. We already got LIMN, AZTR. We saw that one. Motive, Xpun, we already got that one. OP with 300 or 3 million shares. So the volumes are right though. Okay, Tron. All right, so let's just look through these. Starting with, GNPX, cheaper one. 28 million shares traded. GWAV, EEIQ, LIMN, AZTR, Xpun, and OP. float was what was keeping these off of there. Get rid of OP. Get rid of Xpone. A lot of these that are circulating a dollar and not really getting away from the dollar, they got to do something. They got to make a move. Call out CYCU. CYCU. Oh yeah, I see that one. Yep. So I see that one. So basically, I don't know what's going on with the platform, but it's not showing R vol. And so when I had my filter set for a specific share float, it wasn't showing up. So I don't know. Let me see if I add it back. Float. Will it disappear? Yep, disappeared. It's not showing any floats. So I had to clear my floats, and there it is back there. NASDAQ listing. I mean, they're trying. They're still NASDAQ listing is $1. So I mean, they got to get up. They got to get up some more, don't they? Stay above $1. But yeah, this is the list right now. Go look at CYCU. Overall market had a dip yesterday. I mean, the market's just been trending down, so a lot of these days have been really weak because the buying sentiment, even in the small caps, things that have been going up, if you look at their catalysts and the reason why they're going up, it just like okay. And it's been a lot of grinding up, fighting up to even make a move. Hasn't been like a free willy, just shooting to the sky. CYCU hit a top of 46 cents and has come down to 38. It has an ATR closed yesterday, 3 cents. So what is 25% of 3 cents? So if you want to make a quarter of the ATR, that would be 0.03 times 0.25. Yeah, you couldn't even, yeah, that's not even a cent. So that's very tight trading there. You'd be lucky to get 1 cent. EEIQ. I mean, all of these are getting some nothing to see here. Said Jackson hold today should get interesting in the afternoon. Let me go look at the news is out here. What? No way. Yeah, I don't know what's going on today. Usually there's something here. Refresh. At least something from yesterday. Interesting. So I don't know what's going on with Benzene today. They're taking a break on Friday. They're like, yeah, we're only just gonna allow you to sort by volume today, and hopefully you can look at the news, but everything else is just gonna be on the fence. Good luck. You said trash stocks. I think it's probably because of Mr. Powell's upcoming speech. Yeah, let's jump over there and look at that. We were looking at that earlier at Yahoo. This like Yahoo Finance. Right. All right, the stage is set for Powell's final Jackson Hole speech. Both Wall Street and White House are watching the Fed chair's comments for signs of interest rate cuts. Nvidia tells partners to halt work on H20 chip for China. Stock falls. Traders need a green light from Powell to keep stocks rallying. Nike eyes China growth. Meta's hiring freeze is a Meta problem, not an AI problem. Musk tried to enlist Zuckerberg to help fund his bid for OpenAI. Nvidia's in talks with US over a new chip for China. Bond market, postal. So yeah, everybody's just in the wings right now. Yeah, everybody's just sitting on their hands. I don't know. I think it would just be wise to just, chill out. If we're seeing only little low flows, little things, and plus these other platform issues, it's like, I don't know. We gotta we gotta just calm down. Just take a breath. Jumping into something is probably going to end in death, violent death. And it's Friday. It's the end of the week, so it's not a lot of time for people to react going into the weekend. So people will make rush decisions. So yeah, definitely want to be a little bit more patient. If this was Monday, then you would have a whole week for this to play out. But Friday, they're going to sit on the news. They're going to think about it hard and heavy. Then they're going to be able to come in on Monday and make big decisions, which could be, very significant. Let's look at the overall NASDAQ. So the past couple of days came down and finally made a higher low in here somewhere. It doesn't mean it's going to stay there, but a little bit of a rally. Maybe they're expecting some good news. Let me go and look at the possibilities. So if a cut does happen, so let's go. Let's say that what are possible outcomes of the speech today? I'm sure it'll know what speech I'm talking about. Let's see. How smart are you? Okay, today's speech is stirring up plenty of speculation across financial markets, policy circles, and investor sentiment. Here's a concise breakdown of the most relevant possible outcomes. All right, so key facts table: Fed interest rates, markets in holding pattern. Powell speech expected today. Tech stocks under pressure after recent AI boom caution. Bond yields, global long-term yields at multi-year highs. Geopolitics, Ukraine peace talks. Japan political uncertainty. Japan has more than political uncertainty. They have population uncertainty. Interest rate clarity. The speech could signal whether the Fed will hold rates steady or hint. Okay, yeah, we know that. tech sector commentary on AI and tech valuations may influence the ongoing sell-off or spark a rebound if optimism returns. Bond market volatility, any mention of debt levels or fiscal policy may amplify moves in long-term yields, already near record highs in the US, Europe, and Japan. Geopolitical signals. Okay, so we just saw that. Regulatory DEI policy, legal battles over diversity and initiatives may get a nod, affecting federal contractors and broader corporate governance trends. Okay, so today's speech is a pivotal moment for markets craving direction. The most special impact could come from any unexpected clarity on interest rates or strong commentary about tech sector risk. Either could trigger sharp moves across asset classes. Watch for subtle signals on fiscal discipline and geopolitical risk as well. Okay. What is this? Can you draw a chart showing bond yields? Don't care. How do today's outcomes prepare or compare to the performance this year? What are analyst ratings? What is the current target price consensus for NVIDIA? Could you provide a technical analysis? Okay. All right. Oh yeah, I forgot about that Fed Watch tool. Let me go pull that up real quick. Fed Watch tool. What is it? CME Fed Watch tool. Think if I'm gonna just go with this one. Data Solutions Insights. Fed Watch tool. Stop it. Okay. Target rate probability September. Current rate is 425, 450. What are these different tools? CBOL, SOFR watch, STR watch, current, compare. So I want to compare. What is it going to give me? Compare probabilities to the August. So let's see, 2026, 9. Conditional meeting probabilities. %71%. Still got room for next year. Aggregated. So kind of like a little trend here in the numbers. That is even more confusing. Okay, so let's see. Participants' assessments of appropriate monetary policy. 2025, majority say 4 to 5. Okay, so it's basically the same. Target rate. Okay, 2025. So 7. It's a pretty big number up there. I need a legend. What does 8 stand for? 7, 8. I guess it's just a higher probability than 7. Everything else is really low, 1 to 5. So 7 and 8 stand out here. 3.87 would be a cut, I'm guessing. And then 4.37 is just a hold, I'm guessing. Okay, C-ball. And these are on 15-minute delays, it just said, or at least the C ball is 15-minute delay. SOFR. These, yeah, I can change these. Okay. Let me see what these stand for. What is C ball and all this stuff? C ball, what? C-ball contract volume or cumulative volume. Okay. Could be either one. In futures, options, derivative markets, C-vol often represents the number of contracts traded for a specific security. It can also be cumulative volume or calculated volatility. So something like that. I mean, it's got three different things it could be in financial data. Let's look at SOFR. Secured overnight financing rate is what it's saying. It is the average rate at which these transactions take place. Okay, secured. Okay, so what is ESTR? ESTR stands for Euro short-term rate. It's the benchmark interest rate for the Euro area, published by European Central Bank. Okay. Well, you learn something new every day, or hopefully you do. Wow, that thing changed. I literally just we clicked on this, it was 71, and this went down to 69. So it's actually changing. I'm guessing on certain data points that are coming in. I'm guessing there's some kind of delay on here too. Let me see, what is this? Create a PDF document, refresh current view. Okay, so you got a refresher right there. All right, so let's jump back over to where we at, signals. GNPXC, all these cheap little things moving around, it just doesn't mean anything, you know. Nothing has any significance that is up here. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna be patient today and just watch what happens. Sit back and watch. I'm sure someone's jumping in and out of something, but yeah, I don't know if I want to play those play the whole peekaboo game today. Let me listen to this and see what they're talking about. Let me see if y'all can hear this. I don't even know if y'all be able to hear this. Let's see.
Market watchers has sparked my question of the day. Will Powell's remarks meaningfully move markets?
Still with me on the opening bid roundtable, Cameron Dawson, New Edge Wealth Chief Investment Officer, Ali Canal, and Brooke DePalma. Cameron, are we looking at a big move here tomorrow?
Well, we don't think that Powell wants to say a lot. He wants to leave as many options open as he possibly can because we get another CPI print and another non-farm payrolls print before they meet in September, which just means that there could be some surprises there. Another weak payrolls print would pretty much solidify a cut for the Fed in September, but we think that there is more likelihood that we could start to see some more spiciness within inflation prints. We of course got the PPI back a couple of weeks ago that showed this rise in producer inflation, but there's signs under the surface of consumer inflation where things are ticking up. And it's not just in goods and durable goods where we see the most tariff impact, but we're also seeing the tick up in core services ex housing, which is very sensitive to wages, which means that the fall in the labor force because of immigration policy could be impacting overall inflation. So we think the Fed's back is very much in a corner, which just means that at this speech, it probably won't say much simply because they want to strike that tone of data dependence as much as possible.
Ali, I'm on Team Cameron here. I think there is spice coming in these inflation prints over the next few months. Just my take, just looking through the prism of retailers and a lot of common sense economic data. I don't think Jerome Powell is going to say anything that the bulls want to hear. I just don't think he's going to come out and say or even signal that rate cuts are coming. Just my personal view.
Yeah, and I totally agree. I think when you take a look at inflation, that sticky services inflation that Cameron was mentioning, that's a big problem point for the Fed. And if you even read the Fed minutes that were just released yesterday, they were saying that inflation is more of a concern than the labor market. Of course, that happened before we got those significant downward revisions, and we will have that other labor market print coming out before the September rate decision. And that's likely what Jerome Powell is going to talk about at Jackson Hole tomorrow. We did see jobless claims tick up a bit today, and the trend that we're seeing from continuing claims points to the unemployment rate rising slightly to 4.3% in August. That would be up from the current 4.2% that we're seeing. But in terms of what markets continue to expect, they're pricing in that September rate cut. We're at about 77% odds according to the latest CME Fed Fund futures. Now, it's less conviction to where we were a week ago when we were around 90%, but still the bulk of investors are anticipating that rate cut. Now, what's interesting is that we spoke with Interactive Brokers Chief Strategist Steve Sosnick yesterday on Stocks in Translation, that episode available this morning, and he was saying to look at the VIX because the VIX, that obviously measures demand for volatility protection against S&P options. The standard VIX reflects options about 30 days out. However, if you take a look at the VIX 9-day, that includes things like Jackson Hole and even NVIDIA earnings, that's barely budged here. So that suggests investors aren't rushing to hedge against short-term risks here. That includes Jackson Hole. So maybe we won't see that crazy reaction in the stock market tomorrow, especially since there's been a lot more commentary that Powell likely won't say too much. If anything, I think he might lean a little more hawkish. But again, we'll have to wait and see. Typically, there is a lot of volatility around this symposium. And September in general typically leads to more volatile pricing action. And you can even see that from some of the rotational trading that we've seen over the past few days.
Ali, you are right on with that analysis. Jerome Powell has signaled nothing. It is amazing to see those market expectations for rate cuts.
Amazing. I don't really know what markets are hanging their hat on. I guess it is this perception that CPI maybe came in, roughly in line. That helped fuel a lot of these expectations. But again, even in the CPI print, services was still sticky. Of course, the PPI print didn't really move the needle much when it comes to expectations, and neither did those revisions. So I just think markets are hoping and praying really that we see those rate cuts. It's something that we could see reinvigorate the housing market, which, even these retailers have talked about. That's been really stagnant. It's something that President Trump really wants as well. However, I just don't see Jerome Powell leaning too far into that when we still have a lot more data to come before that September decision. And even if you look across Wall Street, Brian, economists aren't saying that September is a sure bet. We have Morgan Stanley still calling for no rate cuts this year at all. So it's not even like economists on Wall Street are fully on board with that September rate cut. There's still a lot more to be seen. And when you have both sides of the Fed's dual mandate really competing against each other and creating greater risks of stagflation, that makes the story a lot more complicated.
Alrighty. So yeah, what they said.
Well, the U.S. and the EU mapping out their next move.
Okay. Oh, what is that? That's talking about US EU layout next whatever. All right, whatever. Anyway, I think a lot of people gonna be sitting on their little 10 fingers, 10 toes, whatever, and staying planted until they see what's going on. It's just one of those mornings where it's like, okay, do you know what's going on in the market? Are you out here just swinging at the fences? Do you know that there's a big stick coming, or maybe there's a big stick being held back? We don't know what the big stick's doing. But yeah, we'll see. I don't want to make any guesstimations, estimations. I'm like, yeah, let's just see. It's kind of a reactionary thing. Let me look at what old Bitcoin and the cryptos are doing today. They still coming down. Come on over here. Bitcoin. So I mean, not that much movement. Even with the market doing that whole downtrend thing, Bitcoin has held very well up here around the 120 or 112s. So even with this little move back down from 124, that's still not as much as the overall market did over the past couple of days. So I'm okay with that. Hmm. Nothing to see here says, oh, let me read some of these comments. Okay, let me see. Nothing to see here says, when macro news drops, I use the tracker probability to see how the bond market interprets future bullish and bearish sentiment. Make sure I'm unmuted. Yep. Okay. So when macro news drops, I use the tracker probability to see how the bond market interprets future bullish or bearish sentiment on markets. The market is always forward thinking. Market is always trying to price in. We're just trying to have a edge in our gambling addictions. Best thing is to ignore the noise when quality companies drop hard in price, and you buy and then sell the euphoria. Okay, yeah, that's yeah, buy red, sell green. Okay. Got our news update. Let me turn that back down so it doesn't blow my ears out the next time I turn it up. All right. Okay, will self-driving cars cut insurance cost? Is still unclear. Nope. Guarantee you it won't. Because if those cars ever have an accident or anything, it's on the company that built them, not on the person that's riding in it. And so they're gonna try to make it some type of way to transition that cost to the user or the quote unquote owner. But do you really own a vehicle that's driving itself? Like, couldn't they just park you in any garage in the world and be like, yeah, good luck, owner? I don't know. I feel like there should be some manual override in every one of those cars. Overriding everything. Because you never know. People can hack your Bluetooth. They can hack. I mean, it's a lot they can hack in there and take control. But you got to be able to manually override all of that and go completely mechanical. No circuitry. No inner circuitry in there. Connecting to a computer. Mm. He's supposed to be speaking at 10 Eastern time. That would be 9 for me, I think. Yep. So I guess I'll be trying my new. Well, I really won't even. I'd rather just see the reaction in the markets than listen to his whole speech. Because if he's just gonna be scooting around the bush, you know what I mean, I could be working and doing something else, making some money. Then by the time he's done, you know, everybody would come out reports. Oh, he was hiding behind the bush, and it's like, okay, let's see how the market reacts. Let's see how the market reacts. Because I mean, I doubt it's gonna be too safe to be jumping in or out of anything while he's speaking. Or anything with significance, rather. It's all regaining compliance or what's this one? This one doesn't even have a price. What? Um, Nothing to see here. It says I'm actually excited for when everyone is in a self-driving car and the traffic is running smoothly. I hate when I'm stuck behind someone who's driving 10 miles under the limit. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Glad you're not like me, because I like to sit in people's trunks if they're driving slow until they move. Especially if they're in the passing lane. Because, you know, here in Mississippi, we don't have, it's not like Texas with 5 lanes. Like I was out in Texas, boy. The minimum speed I was doing was 90. I was like, man, I'm just riding on 90 in cruise in the fastest lane. But out here in Mississippi, usually you got either 2 or 3 lanes, and for the most part, they it'll go from 3 to 2 or 2 to 3, and so you got to kind of just adjust. But yeah, I'm a fast lane driver too, and I will be in your trunk if you're going too slow. Checking out all your merchandise. Let's see, Best Buy, how AI will play. Canadian Solar plunges. Oh, plunges. That was 20 hours ago. Boeing, Dayforce, Boeing, Nvidia, trending tickers. Sony is hiking PS5 console prices. How you gonna what? Did they add anything? How you gonna hike prices on something that's been out for that long? They're like, if you don't have one, we're gonna make you pay more to get one. Sony is increasing the price of each PlayStation 5 console by $50. Okay. What is that's kind of stupid. So it probably, let's see. Okay. Japanese stocks soared despite tariffs and electoral turmoil. Stock markets are slumping. Don't bet on Powell. Yeah, we know. Cisco stock monster hit new highs and flashed this signal. So Cisco. What's the new highs that they hit? Probably like 7. Oh, only, is this the right Cisco? $67. Internet protocol based networking, other products, yeah. Switching, routing, yep, this is it. They pay a dividend. Cisco's been around a long time. Started paying dividends in 2011. Started at quarterly dividends 6 cents up to 8, 14, 17, 19, 21, 26, 29, 33, 36, 37. It looks like it's continuously growing on that quarterly dividend. So 3 months, so 41 divided by 3. $41 divided by 3. Couple cents per month or per quarter. Let's see. You're still holding your last shares of LLY. Let's go check out LLY. Is it still going up? Probably. Let's see. LLY on a daily. So it came down here with a gap down, came back into the 700 level. It went to a high of 718 yesterday. Then came back down to around 710. It looks like it's back up to 712 right now. So right back into that gap level. So it is 7 o'clock and top of the hour. We have seen nothing interesting, but we know that something's coming. So I'm just going to be waiting in the wind. Yeah, my Picard Medical IPO. Let's look at any earnings. Ubiquity earnings before market open. Buckle, BJ's, Wholesale Club Holdings, Goldfield, ZKH Group. All these happened before. What is Q4? It's probably because of the share float. Yeah, get rid of that. See if something pops up there. Nope. Maybe market cap. There it is. So it'll do it by price and volume right now. Still not even a whole lot of news today, even with getting rid of that market cap and the share float. NIO, it's that stock buyback authorizes 101.5 billion stock buyback program. See how that goes at 18 and 99 right now. SharpLink Gaming. So at 18 popped up here to 1944, but only 1 million shares traded. Very well. Since we know what's coming up at 9 o'clock, or I guess 10 Eastern time, I'm probably just gonna go get me some breakfast. Going to go handle some stuff, and then I'll come back and see what the market's reaction is at or around. I mean, it'll probably have two reactions. It'll have a reaction right when it starts, symposium starts, and it'll probably just continue to go in that direction. Or I don't know. Are people gonna wait to the end of the symposium? I don't even know how long it's gonna be. Maybe an hour and 30 minutes or so. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna be too killer today. I think people, even during it and after it, are still gonna be sitting on their hands. I don't have high hopes, but I do have high hopes for this breakfast I'm about to go and get. So don't normally eat breakfast, but on a morning like this, just go ahead and get in. I don't even know where I'm gonna go. Just gonna start driving and looking. Yeah, so I'm not seeing anything super interesting right now. There you go. BBC, is it .org or I think it's .org? Or is it, what is it? World News. All right, famine confirmed in Gaza City for the first time. UN-backed report says Gaza City will be razed if Hamas does not agree to our terms. Israel minister says land concessions are Putin's trap. U.S. to review all 55 million visas to check if holders broke rules. Okay. Oh boy. Lil Nas X arrested and taken to the hospital after wandering LA streets in underwear. Oh man. That's crazy. Anger in Italy over non-consensual photos of women shared online. Former Thai PM Prime Minister acquitted in royal insult case. They're still finding new species of giraffe. That's crazy. All right, so let's go to, so we're at home. Why my dog was my ring bearer. Oh boy. Beijing opposes bully U.S. tariffs for 50% tariffs on India. Trump backs down from the 250% EU pharma tariff in the deal. McDonald's Japan postpones toy promo after Pokemon complaints. Nah, man, taking our brand. Let's see. Are you a personality hire? That's crazy. Denmark. Yeah, as you can tell, I am extremely bored watching the market today. And even after the speech, I'll probably still be bored. People be making all the big decisions, and we'll just have to capitalize on the motion. Let me read some of these chats over here. Let's see. Still holding, using the recent low as my stop. Good morning, Tatiana. You're watching IXHL. Let's go look at that. IXHL. So we've been kind of reviewing what's happening today with the symposium and all of that of Powell's speech. And we've seen that there's, I mean, the things that are moving are like penny stocks, you know what I mean? It authorized a 20 million share repurchase program on IXHL is what I'm seeing. And I'm thinking that news is from today, right? If it will, yeah. Or maybe it's not. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. IHL. Yeah. So that's for today. I mean, yeah, sure it has news on today, but there's more massive news coming out with that symposium. But it's up 64% or 64 cents from 46 cents down here. Looking at the daily chart on IXHL, let's look at that real quick. So this is the daily chart. Let me delete all of this. Apparently it did some kind of reverse stock split because it's a long way away from the marks that I previously had on it. So I clear that drawing set. Closed yesterday at 45 cents. Definitely took the tip of this up here is 167. Had some gaps down here, so it's got some gaps in here that could be, you know, this was kind of filled, but still got this one up to the 88 cents. The possible daily maybe. Duplicate bottom of this right here. It's got that gap there. Where is it right now? It's trading at 63 cents, so it's like right underneath this. So let me put gap fill, gap, possible daily gap, fill to the upside. And then this bottom one is a possible daily gap fill to the downside. But still, I don't know how many people are going to come over and kind of try their luck on it. But I guess there's always some opportunity, maybe not be the best opportunity, but it's always something, right? Something to catch your eye. Over here on the scans, I mean, just looking at the top four right here, they're barely over, by volume, they're barely over $1. 34 cents, 61 cents, 85 cents, $1.39 on EEIQ. Just not sure. Just not sure. Anyway, oh, it's a large float. I didn't see that. Let me go. I didn't even look that deep into it. Let's see. Key data. Yep, the float is looking like 68.67 million for a stock that cheap. For a stock that cheap, it's got to be a low float for it to make moves. Because, you know, when it gets high float like that, I mean, you may as well just accept that you can only get a cent, just 1 cent gains, maybe 1 cent, maybe not even 1 cent, to be honest, the way it's moving. A half a cent. And that's going to be very hard to get on market orders or especially on limit orders, because they can jump over your limit order and not even feel you. I've had that happen multiple times, even when it's high volume, completely miss you and feel you where it wants to. But yeah, I usually, for a stock this cheap, I usually need a low float. I need a low float really anytime it's pre-market, but definitely if it's something super cheap. I haven't traded, I don't think I was taking a trade on anything that's under what, $2 in a long time. Long time. I don't know. When I look at it, it makes my stomach turn clockwise, counterclockwise. So makes me not want to eat breakfast. But yeah. So let's go and see. Let me read the rest of these chats that I missed there. Nothing serious. Said little X arrested. Who would have thought? Let me see. They're trying to get that thing over $1. I'm assuming. I don't know. It's just a lot of. I'm just. It's just not any impressive news on Friday. It'll have to be very impressive. And let's look what the overall market is still doing out here. Overall market, let's go out here to the daily. So it had its little sell-off here before this whole meeting or symposium. Has a previous bottom that it bounced off of 22,826. Went up, sold back off to this level. But again, I think once this thing is done, no matter what, I think somebody's gonna get some euphoria. Somebody's gonna do something. Maybe they'll fat finger a button or something, and get the whole market chasing again. Anyway, like I said, I'm about to go and get me some breakfast, and I'm definitely not touching any of these penny stocks. Even if they pop over $1, that's still not enough. I'm looking for something with range, and plus I don't know why I'm having these platform issues with Benzinga where it's not showing me the data, the ATRs or anything. And maybe the ATRs are so low that they just can't. But no, that's not it. ATR is not showing. RVOL isn't showing. I know that with this much volume, the RVOL should be up. Then it's not showing me the share float. Not showing me the market caps for the. Is this a market cap? Market cap. So I'm just missing data, and I'd rather have working platforms than not, especially when I'm paying money. Oh, I need to complain. That's what I need to do today. I'm going to complain about this, and so that's exciting. I need to get my Word document out and write up a statement on this, take me some screenshots, and send in my complaints. So yeah, that's something I can do today. But other than that, about to get on down. Get on down out of here. Do you need to drink electrolytes to stay hydrated? Drink electrolytes? Nah, you can eat a lot of your electrolytes. What am I on? Health? Innovation. How foods mess with the medications we take. Okay. Now scientists are trying to harness these effects to boost the efficacy of treatments. Let's see, where am I? Innovation, culture. The tropical utopia that became a living hell when a group of European settlers made a home in uninhabited Galapagos Island. They were hoping for paradise, but instead it turned into a nightmare as new film records. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, how's Earth doing? Let's see. How's Earth doing? Not great. Based on the photos of most powerful hurricanes in history. Extreme, man. I know my workplace is not hot. I work in a freaking computer lab. It's colder than. Whew, it's always cold in there. Like I just wear 2 jackets and some gloves, and go at it. Let's see. Will there be a drought? Blah blah blah. Okay. I don't know. All right, yeah, I'm about to go and get some lunch. I'm definitely not into anything that I've seen this morning. The things that did have, or the thing that does have Catalyst IXHL, which is a high float, and I'm guessing it's going to be a killer on the day. These other floats, so CYC, you had a float of 48. I mean, all of the leaders, 48 million shares in the float for this cheap stock. MODV has a little bit lower float, but still no catalyst on the day. Catalyst from 2 days ago, and not even competing in volume here. EEIQ float of 4.19 million. LIMN, the only one that really was a little bit higher priced, with no float showing at all. AZTR 23 million. ELAB 1.48 million, but look at the volume, 2 million in the volume, facing down all of these giants with tens of millions, even hundreds of millions of shares in volume. And these other ones, they just are in here because I couldn't filter today, so they wouldn't be here. But they just like the warrants for that. Yeah, a bunch of warrants. So it is what it is. All right, y'all. Hopefully y'all have a great day. Keep your head on the swivel. That symposium is coming up at 9 Eastern. Like I said, I'm not going to be too just right there to watch it. I'm just going to kind of look at the news and watch the news to see what happens. And yeah, we'll go from there. And I might do updates in the Discord, but I highly doubt I'm going to see anything to trade today with the way that everything's moving. But yeah, that is it. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one, Monday morning pre-market. Gonna get it and see what kind of tornadoes spin out of this Friday release. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.